The fifth time, an analysis of protest art by Vasilina Nedelcheva. The first time it happened, I was too shocked to do anything. To think, to speak, it all happened fast, as if I had imagined it. After seconds, it was gone. The weird look in your eyes, the edge of your words. When I looked at you again, you were the same person I had always known. And if it were true, you would look different. You would feel different. I knew that. I was sure of it. And it was not true. Domestic violence, also called intimate partner violence, occurs between people in an intimate relationship. Domestic violence can take many forms, including emotional, sexual, and physical abuse and threats of abuse. According to statistics, 85% of all domestic violence victims are women, with 1 in every 4 women nationwide experiencing domestic violence in her lifetime. And I was one of them. The second time, I didn't see it coming at all. It happened as fast as the first one, but lingered longer afterwards. You didn't change. You were still the same person. Maybe I was the one who had changed. Maybe I just didn't understand. My beliefs were outdated. To think of it, perhaps I didn't even trust in them either. All was well. There are many different reasons for domestic violence and relationship abuse. Factors vary from social and religious influence, societally ingrained customs and traditions, mental instability, and stress. Historically, domestic violence was first recognized as an existing problem in the 19th century, with the first legislation concerning it coming much later, after the 1990s. In the past 2 decades, there has increasingly been a call for action against the problem. Prevention campaigns have been launched by multiple organizations, and many celebrities have successfully used their positions to raise awareness about the problem through art and public speech. Victims are encouraged to find the strength to leave a domestically violent relationship. But the problem is, it is extremely difficult for people in such positions to even recognize that their relationship is abusive. Despite all warnings and posters listing off signs of possible abuse, it is easy for victims to think that they are imagining things, especially under the influence of a dominating partner. The third time, I knew something was wrong. I could see a difference. In you. In your eyes. Scared? Still, I kept my calm. Tears in my eyes, I tried talking, reasoning, warning. I didn't budge. I've often heard people wonder out loud why someone would willingly submit themselves to such kind of a relationship. From the outside, it is easy to observe, put things into perspective, and recognize the dangerous signs of abuse. It is easy to not understand why you wouldn't just leave this person the first chance you get. It is easy to blame. With the increased awareness of the issue of domestic violence, we have also begun to observe misunderstanding, and as a result, alienation and victim blaming. And this is what I protest against. I wrote this piece of nonfiction as an account of my personal experience with an abusive relationship. Each successive part of the poem starts with the same words in the first line, with only the number going up. This signifies the beginning of each new so-called cycle of abuse, throughout which tension builds up, an accident happens, an apology is given, and then everything is forgotten for the time being. Short and simple sentences throughout the piece create a sense of urgency and anxiety, feelings well known to many victims of domestic abuse. The cycle is cemented with the messages carried by the last sentence of each part of the poem. And it was not true. All was well. And that was most important. As the piece progresses, both the beginnings and ends of the cycles change. The protagonist increasingly recognizes the signs of something not being right, learns how to step back, and eventually breaks the cycle before the fifth occurrence can take place. When I wrote this poem, I did it as a coping method, not giving more thought to it until I showed the piece to one of my closest friends, who suggested that I submit it to several literary websites. I ended up doing so, along with this image, which I thought to well describe the nature of the feelings of a victim of an abusive relationship. The confusion, fear, anxiety, the doubt, and the slow withering of the soul, all signified by the black and white colors and smoke which seems to slowly eat away at this woman until she disappears completely. I submitted my work in the hope that it might help someone. The domestic violence and relationship abuse victims might find themselves in my thoughts, see the struggle and confusion in being in the situation, and take the first step to recognizing the problem. I wasn't a concerned citizen popularizing an important issue, nor a government official whose duties include abuse prevent campaigns. I was not a celebrity who feels a duty to use their power to shed light on a situation which needs awareness. I was a victim myself. Now I am a survivor, and this is my protest. Thank you.